Oh my god. Are you playing Undertale for like the 5th time?
I am so filled with determination right now.
Well, your wonderful girlfriend is home and maybe she wants to put on a movie and maybe not watch it.
Damn it, you just don't understand me!
Well? I'm dating an idiot.
Huh. That's not normal.
Oh, shit, she wants to make out.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of that Cybert channel. My name is Dan Cybert, and Star Wars. You're welcome. That's right, the new Star Wars is upon us, and it is so goddamn good. So I thought I'd sit down and play one of the most iconic Star Wars games around. Super Star Wars. Super Star Wars was developed by LucasArts and Sculpted Software back in 1992 for the Super Nintendo, and was later released on the Wii Virtual Console, PS4, and PS Vita. It also received Best Action Adventure Game and Best Movie to Game awards from Electronic Gaming Monthly on the year of its release. But there's something sinister about this game, a dark secret that was unknown to poor gamers who picked up the game. Something that would haunt the player for years and years to come. This game is f***ing hard. It's notorious for being known as one of the hardest Super Nintendo games on the console. And for good reason. Ungodly amount of enemies, slightly stiff controls, and bosses that will make you tear your hair out. But it's Star Wars, so who cares? Let's boot it up and give it a try. Oh. I'll just pick up the cartridge and put it in. Oh, there's Luke right there, Obi-Wan, Chewie, Han. The title screen for this game is just so damn good, and the music is straight from the movie. A little muffled because of the Super Nintendo sound chip, but that's still Star Wars. It's still overall Star Wars. Except for the red Star Wars text. That's usually yellow, but I guess this one is
bathed in the blood of 1,000 fallen rebels and stormtroopers to appease the Force gods.
Alright, enough of this menu crap. Let's play some frickin' Star Wars! As soon as we hit that button, we're hit with that oh-so-familiar opening. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Oh, hells yes! The game starts and feels just like the movies. Yes, I know it's just text, but it still feels so familiar and epic at the same time. After the text is gone, we're treated to a recreation of the opening chase from the movie, and I gotta say, it looks great for the system. It truly feels like we're watching A New Hope. But we're gonna play it! The game starts you off as Luke on Tatooine, and oh god. No, stop. Okay, stop. Where are you coming from?
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's just a lot. My god. This game goes from 0 to 60 instantly. No, that's wrong. 0 to whatever number defines waves of f***ing murderous, bloodlusty beasts. Here we learn the first important lesson. There are no breaks in Super Star Wars. Once you enter into a spawn area, you'll be met with dozens of enemies and obstacles all at once. Plus, they will respawn just as fast as you kill them at times. Okay, breathing. Let's talk about combat. Luke begins the game with his trusty blaster that he can shoot in multiple directions. However, when you fire, you stop moving and lock yourself down. Which, I get, it's how you're able to aim around the screen to shoot from different angles. But when you got dozens of enemies coming at you, sitting duck is an understatement. I'm just saying. You'll have a hard time progressing through the level if you're sitting still and shooting every enemy that comes at you. So your best bet is to jump and gun, the only way to move and fire your weapon at the same time. There is one advantage to the never-ending enemies though, farming. If you can find a decent location where you can handle the spawns, you can easily replenish your health and grab different power-ups along the way. So let's just fight our way through. Let's just fight our way through. Okay. We're good. We're great. Golden even. Getting through the first stage, you'll arrive at the first boss, which takes place in quicksand with a Sarlacc monster who burrows and has nearly impossible to dodge attacks. I am unamused. Let's just take a moment and look at some other first bosses. Sonic the Hedgehog. 2 platforms, 1 obstacle, a swinging ball. Shovel Knight. Flat ground, predictable pattern. Star Wars. Just a submerging middle finger waving in your face. This is one of my biggest gripes with the game. Boss attacks are insanely hard to dodge. They come at you relentlessly, making it hard to develop any form of strategy. And at the end of the day, the best way to fight bosses is to plant yourself in one spot and hope to God you can outlive their attacks. To do this, it's important to get your hands on the most powerful blaster as fast as you can. Earlier in the level... I just want to show how power-ups work. Earlier in the level, when you got swarmed by womp rats, you can find a blaster upgrade. And you may have found one even earlier if you farm the enemies at the beginning of the stage. The blaster can be upgraded 4 times. 1 to flame, next to seekers, then to rapid ion, and then finally plasma. You're going to want to get that plasma. Look at me, look at me! Get that plasma. It is key that you find blaster upgrades as fast as you can and stay alive, because if you end up dying, you'll lose all of your upgrades and have to start from scratch, which will make later levels nearly impossible. Back to level 1, if you manage to hold on to the flame upgrade, you'll do alright. However, if you get your hands on an extra upgrade, you'll be able to handle this boss with little to no problem. After we kill the Sarlacc pit monster 2 movies before its actual appearance, we find C-3PO in the middle of the desert. Something is wrong. Something is off. It's not uncommon for movie licensed games to drift from the plot a little to help the gameplay. Like, do you remember the time that Luke fought off that giant womp rat? Oh, and who can forget when Chewbacca fought that giant monster from his virtual chess game in the cantina? The memories. You know what? It is what it is. And it's Star Wars. C-3PO tells us he needs our help to save R2 from the Jawas, and so we're off to the Sandcrawler. The next level is one of the few isometric vehicle stages of the game, and it's kinda nauseating. It really comes down to the textures used in the game. I'm sure when they made it, it looked great as a JPEG, but throw in the movement and it becomes difficult to look at. However, the stage is actually kinda cool. You travel around hunting Jawas that apparently have a vendetta against one of their best customers, all while avoiding towers, womp rats, and tar pits that your vehicle doesn't touch, whatever, video games. The D-pad is used to move forward, back, and strafe left and right. Using the jet, however, will allow you to fully turn the speeder, and even fly. After killing enough Jawas, which you can accomplish just kind of by going straight until you kill enough, it's time to raid the Sandcrawler. And it's at this time that the game begins to show off its difficulty. The level begins with you running next to the Sandcrawler, where you can find a platform by the bottom to begin your climb up the beast. Then it's time to platform. As you make your way up the ship, you soon realize that the jumping mechanic is a little odd. While you think the best way to platform is to run and jump to keep your momentum, you soon realize that platforms are shorter or slightly higher than you think, and Luke can actually go from standing still to full momentum for his jumps. So you'll have to fight against your instincts and jump from a standstill, and jump much higher than you think. Oh, but don't worry, if you found this part a little tricky, you haven't seen anything yet. Once you drop in, we have to wind our way through the ship fighting off Jawas and other traps inside. But then, when we go up this elevator,
prepare yourself for a hell unlike you've ever seen before.
Alright, our first hell begins with these moving turret enemies. Now, really, they're not too bad. Their hitbox is tiny, so you'll have to be accurate. But what makes these guys hell is how much damage you can take from this section. You have fire traps, turret lasers, spikes, Jawas, and debris from the defeated turrets that you need to avoid. Chances are you'll make it through without dying, But little did you expect that this was all a trap to whittle down your health to make it impossible to pass this next section. Which won't be a problem if you find the secret wall, which I didn't find the first time I played, so F me, right? After you drop down from that section, you're introduced to these motherfucking piles of garbage. These gates will activate as soon as you get close, and touching them causes damage. Well, thus far you've learned that obstacles can usually be shot at, so you shoot. Nothing. Okay, no, that's fine. Maybe there's a hidden lever that we need to hit. No, none that in there. Okay, fine. Let's just run through, take the damage, and move on. No, okay, it knocks you back. All right, fine. Let's just button mash our way through. Oh yes, the slide. The slide will help me through. The slide that the game has given me absolutely no reason to use so far. That's fine. So yes, you can figure this out, but it just shows that at times the level design can be a bit unfair. Let's start with the slide mechanic. Good level design would have given you obstacles to practice sliding safely under, so later when you use the mechanic and get hurt, that's on you for not executing it properly. But Super Star Wars has been throwing enemy after enemy at you, only giving you the chance to shoot through a flat wasteland with a platform every now and then. It's not that the level design is terrible by any means, but at times it feels like someone designing for the first time, just throwing in obstacles for the sake of there being more obstacles in your way. Not trying to increase the skill of the player, but rather seeing how many times the player can get slapped in the face before they quit. Honestly, if the combat wasn't as fun as it is, I would have hurled this game out the window by now. Categories. Yeah? After the stupid gates of hell, we hop on a platform which falls into spikes, and then huge ion turns, crushers, mutant sandals. Okay, so you make it through this section, get a ton of power-ups, and then down to lava? Seriously? So you finally get through, and there's a lava monster, and you kill him by shooting him as fast as you can, and you finally save R2. After finally saving R2, it's time to find Obi-Wan. So it's back to the desert. But this time we're treated by the beautiful color of darker brown of the new caverns and sand people. When we finally arrive at the end of the level, we find old Ben Kenobi and get Luke's signature weapon, the lightsaber. It's okay. If you've been doing a good job upgrading your blaster, you'll have the plasma upgrade, which pretty much insta-kills any enemy at this point in the game. Meanwhile, the lightsaber can take 2 or more hits and puts you directly into many of the enemy's attack range. Okay, fine. So the coolest weapon is mediocre at best. Let's just make our way through this level, another speeder stage, and we'll finally arrive at Mos Eisley, which is even just more desert. However, it's here we'll finally be taking on the Empire. Stormtroopers don't have much more health than other enemies, but certain varieties have flame shots and missiles that could deal some serious damage. At the end of the stage, we arrive at the cantina where we find Chewbacca, who becomes a playable character. Oh hells yeah. Chewbacca plays similar to Luke, but to make up for the lack of lightsaber, he starts with much more health and starts with the flame blaster. Then it's time for the cantina stage, and somehow you've managed to piss off every damn alien at the bar. With the boss defeated, it's time to finally meet that suave smuggler Han Solo. You glorious bastard. Now we have the ability to play as Han Solo, bringing the number of playable characters up to 3. Han has the same health as Luke, but the slide is replaced for a role. So, let's pick our character and finally get off this damn planet. Now off of Tatooine, it's time to save Leia at the Death Star. Unlike the film counterpart, however, we must first storm the hangar. So let's grab our blaster. Okay, this level here can either be a breeze if you keep the right pace all the way through, but fall off and you'll hit every damn TIE fighter that comes at you. Once again, level design break it down into how many obstacles can we throw at you. Fortunately for us, the boss isn't as threatening as the rest. Either stand your ground like always or hop over him and continue to hold your ground. This shouldn't be the strategy, but alas, After defeating the Sentry, it's time to navigate our way through the Death Star, avoiding laser traps with the oddest hitboxes ever and tons of evil droids. Oh, and randomly popping out stormtroopers. How could I forget? Visually, these stages are such a breath of fresh air after living in the desert for so long. The backgrounds feel a bit more varied and the layouts feel different, as if we're actually trying to navigate our way to save Princess Leia. Which, thanks to our plasma blaster, which we totally didn't lose like 8 times, we do just that. Damn, Leia, were you planning on seducing the first person that walked through this door? After saving Princess Leia and destroying the tractor beam, we come to the iconic scene where Obi-Wan squares off against Vader, and okay. I mean, spoilers if you haven't seen episode 4 yet, but in this scene, Obi-Wan is supposed to die, but it just kind of seems like he's fine. It seems like a miss to not do more with this since it is such an iconic scene. But whatever. Right now, we have a space station to blow up. The final stage of this game has us going against the Empire in a frickin' X-Wing. And it's nauseating again. The textures of the Death Star, much like the desert of Tatooine, are disorienting to look at. This stage plays much like the speeder levels before, except a little less explorative. You'll loop over and over again until you kill 20 TIE fighters and 20 towers. Once you hit your quota, you'll begin your torpedo run. You'll be swapped over to a first-person view inside the cockpit as you have to shoot down cannon fire and TIE fighters. All of this leading down to a showdown with the one and only Darth Vader and his personal TIE fighter. And it's really easy. Out of all the bosses, this one feels like such a letdown. As long as you can shoot the cannon fire before it hits you and blast him as fast as you can, he'll be gone before you know it. Then all that's left is to fire your torpedoes, which requires you to... Assuming you hit your mark, you'll escape the exploding Death Star. Mission accomplished! As one last final treat, you'll see a 16-bit recreation of the final award ceremony. Luke, Chewie, and Han approach the stage, and... Oh God! Oh, they just look like discolored blobs. Oh, someone has to fire that photographer. Oh, there, done. Finally. Let me just say that this game is anything but forgiving. The stages are rough, and this game will require all of your concentration to beat it. That being said, there's still something about it that hooks you in. For me, it comes down to 2 things. 1, the combat is awesome. Once you get a hang of the controls, taking down waves of enemies is so rewarding. And with a fully upgraded blaster, you'll feel like one galactic badass. Which leads me to my second point. It's freaking Star Wars! You get to play as Luke, Han, Chewie, you get to take down the Death Star, you get to fly an X-Wing. Yes, the rage might be there, but it feels so great to be part of the game. So, what are my final thoughts on the game? Well, if you love Star Wars, definitely pick up a copy of this game. And if you are of legal drinking age, make sure to have a bottle of whiskey nearby. You're gonna need it. Speaking of which... isn't it working? I was able to lift the cartridge.
Whoa! Dude! No!
Why does the ghost hate Cocoon?
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. A super special shout out to Alyssa B. Crazy, Ryan Wright, Jerry, David, and Jake for helping me put this video together. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like down below, and you can become a Cybernat today by clicking that subscribe button, you know, and you get updates on new videos. That's pretty cool. And in the comments down below, what is your favorite Star Wars game? And until next time, Cybert out.